So I'm going to screen share again and then just, okay, so, here we go. Okay, so thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate all of you getting on. I know that we have work and school, and it really means a lot to me, and I know others that you took the time and to hear more about how I have gone from being a struggling young mom to living a life by design and creating a life by design for my family. This picture is a group of girls on the team who we all went to Nashville in July. We hung out, we learned, we laughed, we had so much fun, and it was just a great time. So I'm excited for you to hear more about what we're all about. So I wanted to first talk more about my story and where I was a few years ago to where I have come now. And in 2009, you see up in the left, that was my senior year of high school. I actually was very healthy growing up. I lived in a very healthy family. My mom stayed at home. My dad had his own architecture firm, and we always had home-cooked meals every single night. Whether they were healthy or not, I'm not really sure, but my mom always made sure that we had food, and most of the time it was healthy. And I was in sports. I was a dancer. I played soccer. I did swimming. I played the piano. I think I was in anything that I could imagine, and I danced for a very long time and ended up quitting my freshman year of high school. And it wasn't until my junior year when I started to go down the slippery slope, and I started to struggle with depression. Depression runs in my family, and it was really something that was hard for me to battle with. I actually went on medication for a month and decided I didn't want to go on medication anymore, and so I gave that up, and then I started to cope other ways, and unhealthy outlets. I would eat McDonald's sometimes 2 times a day, which is really embarrassing to say. And even before I had my son, the first thing I had that morning was McDonald's, and that was like the last time I had McDonald's. So then after school, after high school, I went to college, and it didn't get any better. I gained probably 15 more pounds. And I actually came home in 2010 because I got put on academic probation. I was out partying way too much, and I just did not have a purpose. I hated my life. I had no idea where I was going. I didn't know if anyone would ever love me for who I was. And so after I came home, I started taking an ADHD form of medication to lose weight. My friend had started going on it, and she introduced it to me, and she was like, yeah, I've lost like 15 pounds in a month. And I tried it, and it was like, I was like always shaking, and I went to the doctor, and since I was a student, it was really easy. I said that I couldn't focus on things. So in 2011, I lost about 15 pounds, actually maybe 20 pounds after I came home. And it wasn't until I met my now husband that I actually stopped taking the medicine, because he was taking it when he was younger and hated it. So obviously, then skip to 2013. In 2011, I got pregnant and had my son Bentley in 2012. And then I'll go ahead and save the 2013 to 2014 for a little bit later, but that's a little bit of where I came from. I was a nanny and also a student, as you can see with my sister in the right picture. The little girl is the little girl I nanny. It was a little girl and boy. And I was still able to bring Bentley, which was amazing, and it worked well with my school schedule. But as you can imagine, I was very, very busy. So I really went from not knowing what I wanted to do to finding my purpose. I was a nanny and a student before. My husband was gone for 6 months because he was going to school. So I was also a single parent. And during that time when he was gone, I really had a lot of time to reflect. And he was going to school for windmill renewable energy, and he came out getting a job climbing cell phone towers, which is the top 10 most dangerous jobs in the world. And that's not something I wanted to deal with for the rest of my life. I didn't want my husband, or I didn't want to fear my husband going to work every single day and wondering if I would see him that night. That's just not something that seemed enjoyable for myself to do for the rest of my life. And so I really just started living a healthy lifestyle. My turning point was when Bentley was eight months old, and I looked in the mirror. It's that left bottom picture on 2013. I was just so embarrassed for myself, and I just didn't feel good in my own skin. I was eating dairy, and I'm lactose intolerant. I was not listening to my body, and I really just made a huge lifestyle change. I did cut out some people who were not positive people in my life, and that was really hard, but it's something that I needed to do. And I loved my nanny job. I loved being with those kids, but I knew that if I wanted to live the life I wanted to live and not be on someone else's time for the rest of my life, I had to do something about it. I was very stubborn in high school. I don't really necessarily like to do what other people want me to do. So I guess that's maybe why I've gone against the grain and or the norm, and created this life by design for myself. I just really wanted to retire my husband. I wanted him to be able to be home. I wanted him to find a job that he loved. He loves working on cars, and that's what he's passionate about. And, I just really made a list of what I loved versus what I hated. And like I said, I hated feeling like I was always on someone's time. I envisioned being by myself with my son every single day, what it would look like if I could just stay at home with him. We could go all of these different places. So now I've been on my journey for 2.5 years. I've gained so much confidence. I think that's probably the best part about this journey is the confidence that I've built. I've lost 35 pounds thanks to Beachbody and drinking Shakeology. And mind you, I was very skeptical at the beginning. I had no idea what Shakeology was. I actually didn't get it at first. I only got Brazil Butt Lift. And I don't know why, but it's because probably I didn't know enough. I didn't know enough about it, and now I drink it for the nutritional value, and you can just completely tell the difference. I'm able to go to the pumpkin patch when my son has a field trip and not need to get the time off. I'm able to go to Nashville with friends and not ask for time off. I'm able to go to the dog park in the middle of the day if my husband comes home early from work, because he doesn't actually climb cell phone towers anymore. He works at he's a mechanic, and he works at a shop and makes very little to no money, but he's able to do that because he's passionate about it, and I want him to be happy, because if he's not happy, it doesn't necessarily make the home life happy, and that's just something that we want. So he also was very skeptical at the beginning and just came around about a year ago, and he's like my number one supporter. So I've been able to overcome depression, and I've been able to pay it forward, which is amazing. Other women have been able to help their husbands out financially, or just themselves. They have overcome depression as well, or overcome an eating disorder. We have people all over. It does not just mean that you're losing weight. This is a whole confidence gain and an amazing supportive community. So I want to ask you, what do you love and what do you hate? What's holding you back from doing what you love? So these are just a few pictures that really stood out to me. One, that's my son Bentley in the middle picture watching me. He loves to work out with me. He's my why. What is your why? What's driving you to live the life that you want to live? On the right picture, we were at a team retreat in Wisconsin. My girls, we had so much fun. And the left picture is when I was in Dallas, and I just realized how much my confidence had risen from the previous picture. That was my first picture I took before my very first challenge group back in April of 2013. Do you love your job? I loved my job, but I knew that what I wanted for my life wasn't necessarily with that job. I wasn't necessarily streets, or it didn't necessarily have an education where I could go really find a corporate job if I wanted to. I went to school for early childhood education. So for me, I wanted to own a preschool, but I knew that if I was going to own a preschool, I'd be tied down to that preschool and I wouldn't be able to travel like I wanted to. I wouldn't be able to go on family vacations with my, family like I wanted to, because I never got that growing up. Maybe it just doesn't fill your cup anymore. Maybe you just want to be your own boss, but what is it that you love about your life versus about what you hate, and what are you going to do to change that? I want you to think about that. Successful mothers are not the ones that have never struggled. They're the ones that have never given up despite the struggle. My mindset was a huge change. And this kind of gets me emotional, because having a kid at 21 was not in my plan at all. I wanted more for myself because I wanted him to know that anything was possible, no matter what obstacle you're given. I had so much fear of failure and fear of judgment. I had people telling me I was messing up my life because I was keeping this kid. It's not something that people want to hear. And I pushed that aside. I made my mindset it was mine. That's where personal development comes in. And that's something that's so important in this business and in your life. I wish I would have had that in high school. And I always say that to people these days. Where is that in high school when you're going through so much? I just want you to think and to start thinking positively about yourself, because I had a lot of doubt about myself in my head from past things. And something that's really helped me is personal development. And that's another reason why I'm so thankful for Beachbody, because I didn't really understand or know what personal development was until this opportunity came into my life. And it's changed me in so many more ways than just health and fitness. It's been an overall change, and I get to give that to my son. He knows I change lives for my work, and I just love that. It makes me so happy, and I hope that he will be inspired to do the same and to help others when he grows up. So what would you love to do all day long? Play at home? What are you amazing at? What do people thank you for or ask you for advice? What would make you happy every morning? I know I love to just hang out in my sweats all day. It's pretty nice. And Bentley gets to just, hang out. We get to play. We get to go to Wiggleworks or the zoo or the farm or whatever we want to do. We get to do it and get paid for it. Do you want financial freedom? Do you want to be working for yourself? Do you want to travel or meet new people? What would you love to do all day long and get paid for it? This has been like a life change completely. And I'm so thankful for this opportunity. Some of these pictures are women I've met from Instagram. I mean, I didn't even know these women before I met them in some of these pictures. And it's just been so, so fun to meet new people all over the United States and Canada, and to be able to come together a few times a year and hang out, change people together, change lives together. You can change your family's life. My mom and dad drink Shakeology, and they are so supportive as well. It's been so awesome to be able to not only impact my life, but my parents' life as well. You get to meet new friends. I've met so many amazing people. Brittany on the top right there, I flew to California for an event we had together, and it was so cool. We got to spend 4 or 5 days together, and I met her on Instagram. We're like best friends now, and it's just been so amazing to have these relationships. Also, not to mention the trip that we're in the water and on that golf cart, I earned that for free. So every year, Beachbody offers a free trip, basically. And so I earned that trip for free for me and Eric to go to. And it was so much fun. We had so many fun times on that trip. It was a really cool and full circle moment to be able to take my husband on a free vacation that I earned. And, you know, just 2 years ago, we were struggling so hard. Who can be a coach? I think I get this all the time. You know, you're like, oh, well, I'm not at my goal weight, or I don't really know like what I need to be doing. Like, I don't want to be salesy. It's not any of that. We're not salespeople. We are truly telling our story and inspiring others to feel amazing about themselves. It can be anyone, but it takes hard work. It takes ambition. Your why is what's going to inspire you to make this business work. What is your why? Like I said before, why do you want to make a change in your life? What do we do as coaches? Well, our team calls are just like this. So, you know, you would be getting on every week and we just hang out and talk and learn together and collaborate. We run challenge groups and we're all supporting each other. You know, we're adding value to people. We're talking about what we're doing, being proof that it does work. Living a healthy lifestyle, not a diet, is what we want, right? Do it for yourself, to keep yourself accountable, because that's what's helped me so much, is keeping myself accountable. I have hard days. We're not all perfect. And I talk about that, because if you're not vulnerable and if you're not truly showing who you are, you won't be relatable. They won't be able to trust you. We're not perfect. So don't feel like you need to be perfect to be a coach, or to feel like you have to have a certification of some sort. I have no certification. I'm no expert, but I know what's worked for me and I know what's helped me. So this is, you know, always what people ask is, how do coaches make money? How do we make money? And this is something that's always so hard for me to talk about, and I'm not necessarily sure why, but I think it's something that's important, and that's something that you need to know, because if I wouldn't have known this when I was first getting started, I wouldn't have known the true potential that this business would have for me and my family. So when you're a coach, we get retail commission on everything. That's about 25 to 35% on everything. So there's also something called team cycle bonuses, and that's from you helping other people help others. So you are inspiring others to help others, and that's what we're here to do, is to be vulnerable and to let our light shine, right? So it's weekly paychecks as well. Every Thursday we get paid. So it's really awesome to always know that you're going to have something every single week. And you also get the opportunity to have leads. So people who go onto the infomercial or something like that and buy it, Beachbody wants them to have a coach and to be hooked up with someone that's going to help them get started and put them in a challenge group. And so you are also able to earn leads as well, which is so awesome and so cool to meet other people, because that's just another way you're going to meet people. You know, I always hear, well, what if I run out of people? Well, you're not going to run out of people. So your first 2 months as a coach, you're probably wondering, okay, like, how do I get started? Or what exactly am I going to get when I get started? So number one, you get support and accountability up like the yin. So we have a team page. We are constantly supporting each other, encouraging each other. I have so many videos. There's so many training videos that are out there for you. You know, how to go about your online office when you get started, the new coach training getting started right webinar, that's about 50 minutes long, and you get that immediately when you sign up in the welcome email. There are team calls, there are trainings with you know, some of the top coaches in the company, and we are such such a helpful team that whatever someone does, it's always shared. And it's just so cool to come together and to share what's working, share what's not working, and to just know you're always supportive no matter what, and no question's stupid. Also, personal development is definitely a requirement. If you're going to be doing this, you need to be working on yourself constantly. That's number one. It's something I'm always doing. We're never perfect. We never know everything. So we're always learning. We're always trying to better ourselves and to learn more for ourselves. Also when you first get started, there's a specific document on how to not be salesy. So I know that's a huge thing because you're always like, I don't want to post. Like, I think that might be really icky. Like, no, like we are not salespeople. Okay, we are here to share our journey and to help others on their journey. So, what's the commitment? It's really up to you how you want to get started. I was a student, and so I really started with just like 1 hour a day because I needed to figure out what I wanted to do. And then I went all in. And I knew that this is what I wanted to make full time. I wanted to quit my job because I was getting married in August and I did not want to have to work full time as a nanny, excuse me, with a 2-year-old and be planning a wedding. I just knew that I wouldn't be able to handle it. And I'm not going to lie, my parents were kind of like, really? You're going to quit your nanny job? They were kind of surprised. But I was making, what I was making with Beachbody was double what I would make in a week in 2 weeks with nannying. So it was just not, like, for me, it was a no excuse thing. I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. Like, why wouldn't I? But they didn't really fully understand. So basically you can either put in you can put in an hour a week or full time. It's up to you and it's up to what's, going on in your life, but just know that this business is doable with 1 hour a day. Obviously you need to be doing a workout program and living a healthy lifestyle, showing people what it's doing for your life. You also, the cost to be a coach every single month is only $15. So just know that that's the only obligation, and but that covers your websites, your 24/7 hour service line when you can call in. It also gives you the 25% discount. And when you get started, I suggest the best way is with a challenge pack, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but that gets you started with Shakeology and a workout program. And also there's a 30-day money back guarantee. So say that something doesn't work or you don't like Shakeology or whatever, you can send it back and they'll totally refund you. So just know that that's always there as well. And also the military discount. So if you're an active or a veteran military, you get military discounts. So if you are, tell your coach or whoever invited you or me, and we can help you get that on your account. So these are all the challenge packs, and a few are not in here. So there's also regular Insanity, P90X, P90, P90X3, and Brazil butt lift, and a few more. But that's me with Autumn Calabrese 21-day fix. That was when we went to LA earlier this year. T25, man, that's my soulmate guy. He is what really helped me and pushed me in the beginning to honestly have a body I never thought that I could have. Also, the 21-day fix is on sale this month. So this month, if you get the Shakeology which is normally $130, so about $4 a day, you get the 21-day fix for $10 more. So that includes the meal guide, the workouts, a shaker bottle, and all the containers. So just know that that's also on sale this month. And size is so fun. That's a dance workout program. So if you like Zumba, like it does not even feel like a workout. Plyo's awesome as well. It's awesome for people who maybe are pregnant or, they have knee problems, or you just need to start off with something a little bit less intense. That's an awesome, awesome one to get started with. What is Shakeology? So Shakeology is a superfood-filled shake that has over 70 superfoods. And that's me when we were in California earlier this year at the leadership conference. And there's a whole Shakeology wall. And I just thought it was so cool. You could see everything that you drink every single morning. It's clinically proven to reduce cholesterol and reduce the blood sugar levels as well. So for diabetics, actually, if you go on YouTube and search some videos about it, you will find that many people have talked about how it's helped with their diabetes and type 1 diabetes. It seriously changed my life for cravings. Like I said, I used to go to McDonald's every single day. So Shakeology for me helped me with not having to go to Starbucks and spend over $4 or have to go to McDonald's and spend over $5. I literally get like 7 servings of vegetables every single morning for $4 a day with my Shakeology, and my son drinks it with me, my husband, my parents. We are definitely a Shakeology family. And I actually don't replace it right now for a meal. I solely drink it for the nutritional value, but it helps with weight loss and that as well. But it's not directed as a protein shake or just a weight loss shake. It is truly dense of nutrition and a huge nutritional value. So there is a need for help. Like I said, I get people saying, well, what if I run out of people? I can say I have not. I have constantly been talking and helping the people because that is what I want to do. I'm passionate about helping others live a healthy lifestyle. And my friend Alexa as well, she's lost 80 pounds on her journey, and she was a Taco Bell addict, and she won $1,000. So it's not just $100,000. They do $500, $1,000, $5,000, and then $100,000. And so, they're constantly rewarding people for losing weight and living a healthy lifestyle. It's just so awesome to see that and to be able to be a part of that. So really, the next steps is for you to either talk to me if I invited you here, or whoever invited you, and see what's going to work for you. Ask questions. I'm actually going to stop the recording here in a minute, and we'll do a Q&A or the PowerPoint if anyone has any questions. But please feel free to ask anything and I hope that this helped. I hope that you took this in with an open heart and an open mind and really saw what could possibly be your life. And help you live the life that you want to live. So I'm gonna stop the share. Does anyone have any questions, or you can type it in the chat box, or unmute yourself if you want, but I'm open to asking or answering any questions. The unmute is down below.
I was searching for it. Hi, I'm Annette.
Hi.
I realize my name that shows up there is not easy to tell what that is. So I actually just signed up through Brittany Powers, and that's how she connected me to find your information. So I actually work full-time right now. So the part I'm challenged with right now is trying to figure out, sorry, my cat. I'm trying to figure out how to balance this. My ideal would be that this would be a full-time proposition for me, but I'm trying to figure out how to get started. So maybe over the course of the next year, I could start building something slowly. And so just the idea, I know I've heard, and I heard you say as well, you're constantly finding people to connect with. I'm just trying to figure out how you went about starting that. Is that through the trainings on Beachbody? Or?
Yeah, so in the team page, have you watched the Getting Started Right webinar? You can leave yourself unmuted.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say, so what do you do for work, actually? Can I ask you that?
I'm a finance manager for a retail
Okay,
business.
so what exactly are your hours?
I'm about 8:30 to 6:30 every day.
Okay, so there have been teachers who are kind of in the same boat, and they have talked about how they wake up an hour earlier than they are doing, and they just spend an hour during their morning, and then on their lunch, on their lunch break or work break, whatever, they'll do another hour if they have time to do that. So they're always using their time wisely. And so also there's something called the Win the Day tracker that I could send to you as well after the call. It's also in the team page. And that's a really
Okay.
great way to kind of manage what you're doing every day. So say you feel like you couldn't do a power hour, because like I said, you can do an hour a day, with this business. To say that you can't, for some reason it gets out of the way or whatever, the Win the Day tracker will help you, look at and say, okay, I got my workout and it kind of just lists everything, the 3 vital behaviors that you need to be doing every day.
That you should be doing in that hour. Okay.
Yeah. So I can tag you in the team page or whatever after and show you that.
Okay.
Good question. Anyone else? If not, I'll stop the recording. Thank you for being on. I really appreciate it. I hope this was helpful.
It was for me, definitely. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Okay, well, since no one else has any questions, I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you so much for being on, and I hope that we see you on our team someday.